Good afternoon from BBC London News. Police are investigating the death of a man in his 20s in North London last night. Officers were called to a disturbance just before 1 o'clock this morning on York Way in Holloway. The man was taken to an East London hospital where he was pronounced dead. There have been no arrests yet. A man has been charged with criminal damage after a photograph was glued to Constable's masterpiece, The Haywain, in the National Gallery. The artwork was targeted yesterday afternoon. 57-year-old Paul Manning from Sheffield is due at Westminster Magistrates later. It's not thought there's any lasting damage to the painting, and it has gone back on display. A new app being pioneered by GPs in Surrey could help doctors decide whether a patient's memory is normal for their age or if they should be concerned. More than 70,000 people in London are affected by dementia. The Alzheimer's Society says that number is set to double in the next 40 years and has described the condition as a time bomb. Lara Joannides reports.
On good days, Gary can spend hours working at home in Croydon. He's had to give up his job as a jeweller since developing vascular dementia, a condition which affects his memory and motor skills. But it took almost 5 years for him to be officially diagnosed.
Now and again I get an away day, as my wife calls it, where everything becomes very difficult. Those simple things, like shoelaces, suddenly catch you. You get so annoyed with yourself. Cooking, things like that, forget about it, it's just a waste of time.
Okay, so if we're doing an assessment with the iPad...
Currently, patients are referred to special memory clinics for testing before they can be diagnosed. But now technology being used for the first time by GPs in Surrey could change that.
How good is your memory? Imagine that there is...
After completing a 10-minute assessment, the patient's results are compared to a database of more than 5,000 others. It's designed to improve on the traditional pen and paper method used by GPs.
We all have memory loss from time to time, that's normal, and the question is, where that's normal turns into something more than that. And I think the tool allows us to actually do a fairly sophisticated assessment. So I think it's actually helping GPs to make the right decisions about which patients to refer and which patients they can reassure.
70,000 people in London suffer from dementia, but according to the Alzheimer's Society, less than half of those with the condition actually receive a diagnosis.
With the ageing population, we can expect to see significantly more people developing the condition. Those figures are anticipated to double by about 2050, so it is a time bomb essentially.
If I'd had the diagnosis earlier, it would have meant I'd be able to cope with things better. It made me realise that a lot of what had been going on was because of the dementia.
With the technology rolling out across the capital, it's hoped people will be able to get the help they need earlier on. Lara Joannides, BBC London News.
Weather now, and we'll have sunny spells, more cloud later on though, feeling warm with highs of 22 degrees Celsius. That's it. We're back at 6:20 this evening. Bye-bye.
Good morning, London. It's Friday. The show's a juggernaut. We've got to decide what are the big stories for London that day.
We have all sorts of different guests, everyone from actors to politicians. Jane is on the phone. Hello.
Hi.
Our listeners, there are eyes and our ears.
Paul's very good on getting right in there.
Do you think we need more joined up thinking across London to combat gangs?
Penny's fantastic to work with him, and together we can get to the heart of what's going on in London.
Join Penny and Paul for The Breakfast Show, weekday mornings from 6 on BBC London 94.9.
Good afternoon. We are spoilt for choice for sports and events this weekend, and the weather's playing ball. It's set to stay pleasantly warm with some more hazy sunshine for many of us, with just the odd exception. You can see the sunshine coming through on the satellite picture, but out west we have got some thicker cloud or weather front. But even here, following, some drier, brighter weather will hopefully follow the drizzly rain in across Northern Ireland as we head towards the latter part of the afternoon. Not so for the west of Scotland, strengthening wind, quite a lot of low cloud, hill fog and drizzle here. But the north and east of Scotland faring a little better. There'll be quite a bit of cloud, but should stay largely dry, as it should for the bulk of England and Wales. I think the Irish Sea coast may start to turn a little bit greyer and damp and drizzly later in the day, and the fog that we had across the Channel Islands this morning is lifting as well. So there's a lot of fine weather to be found. Strong sunshine at Glastonbury, for example, set fair probably until dusk before the drizzly rain arrives. But yes, it is a warm one. and we should get a full day's play at Wimbledon. Good news after yesterday's rain, of course, temperatures topping up into the low 20s, but some strong sunshine. So if you're exposed at Glastonbury or indeed Wimbledon or any outside event, do remember the hat and the sun cream. The UV levels high now and the pollen levels creeping up. It's of course the British Grand Prix as well, coverage on the BBC, and the weather's set fair here as well. Now, we may see some drizzly rain across England and Wales overnight, but further north the wind strengthens for some more persistent rain here and gales as well. I think the main thing about tonight is we'll have more humidity, so quite a close and uncomfortable night and quite a lot of misty grey weather first thing tomorrow morning. But that mist and low cloud clears inland, some strong sunshine coming through again. But again for Northern Ireland, some damp and drizzly weather through the morning, that rain still persisting across the north and west of Scotland, and this time it looks as if it'll creep into western fringes of England and Wales. Now, it does brighten up behind, so we'll see temperatures recovering a little, but clearly with the wind and the rain in the north, a cool day here, but we could see 24 or 25 in the south. So we've got the athletics tomorrow taking place, coverage on BBC Two, and again the weather's set fair here, but too remember that strong sunshine and increasing pollen levels. They should be very high by Monday, although by that stage the weather freshens up with a ridge of high pressure for Wimbledon, so some fine dry weather. But look what's ploughing in for Tuesday. Some rather inclement looking weather is heading our way for the middle part of the week. Not just heavy rain, but you saw the isobars, potentially some strong winds as well. That's one to watch, but enjoy the sunshine this weekend if you see it. Bye-bye.
It's the qualifying session of the British Grand Prix from Silverstone. Next.
My reputation is on the line here.
Big smiles!
What are these?
Never mind, put them back.
Engage brain.
Look
at this horse.
What's the count?
What we take?
Oh, do you guys know what you're doing?
Diabolical.
What's wrong with them?
You're fired. You're fired. I don't want to see your face anymore. You're fired.
The Apprentice. Watch the series so far on BBC iPlayer.
Don't miss the final of the Confederations Cup as hosts Brazil take on Spain. That's tomorrow night at 10:25 here on BBC One.
Are you ready?
We have everything we need.
Oh, you're joking!
I'm on a mission from God!
All new Top Gear starts tomorrow at 8, only on BBC Two.